want to acknowledge that we've been through a lot lately, not just here in Los Angeles, but our entire country. And that's why I want to personally extend my gratitude to Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively.
Blake Lively, known for her poised public image and her role in Gossip Girl, is rarely seen flustered, especially when it comes to handling the media. Chelsea Handler, on the other hand, has built a career on throwing sharp, no-holds-barred jokes at anyone and everyone, celebrities included. But what happens when these two personalities collide? In a surprising turn of events on live TV, Blake Lively found herself in the crossfire of Chelsea Handler's infamous sense of humor. The internet exploded, with fans questioning whether this was a planned comedic bit or an uncomfortable moment that caught everyone off guard. Was Blake truly upset, or was it all part of the fun? Stick around as we break down the full story and maybe uncover a few surprising truths along the way. To understand why this moment was so impactful, we first need to look at the two stars involved. Blake Lively, the golden girl of Hollywood, has built a career based on her relatable charm. From her breakout role as Serena van der Woodsen in Gossip Girl to her more recent successes in films like The Shallows and A Simple Favor. Her public image is one of grace and poise, often sharing her personal life through carefully curated social media posts that reflect her picture-perfect family life with Ryan Reynolds and their children. Blake is known for her warmth and her ability to handle interviews with a smile, but she's not one to dive too deep into controversial subjects. Then there's Chelsea Handler, a comedian and former late-night host who is unapologetically sharp and bold in her humor. Known for her stand-up specials and her hit show, Chelsea Lately, Chelsea has made a career out of roasting celebrities, politicians, and anyone in her path. Her quick wit and no-filter approach to humor have earned her both a loyal fan base and some critics. Chelsea is famous for pushing boundaries, and it's clear that no one, not even A-list stars like Blake Lively, is off limits for her jabs. When these two meet, sparks are almost guaranteed. Whether it's playful banter or something more tense, it's bound to be an interesting interaction. Now, let's break down the infamous moment that had the entire internet buzzing. It all started innocently enough with Blake Lively sitting down for an interview with Chelsea Handler. The two were discussing various aspects of Blake's career and personal life. However, Chelsea quickly steered the conversation toward a familiar topic: Blake's seemingly perfect social media presence. Chelsea teased Blake about her curated posts, making light of her idyllic family life and spotless image. What began as playful banter quickly took a turn when Chelsea's jabs became a little sharper. Blake's usual calm demeanor seemed to falter slightly as she was the target of Chelsea's sharp humor. It was clear that Chelsea wasn't letting up, poking fun at everything from Blake's parenting to her glamorous lifestyle. What was supposed to be a lighthearted exchange quickly became an awkward moment, with Blake visibly uncomfortable in the face of Chelsea's relentless teasing. The tension was so palpable that viewers watching live couldn't help but wonder, was this just another example of Chelsea's comedic style, or was Blake genuinely taken aback by the humor? Chelsea Handler has built her career on being fearless, whether it's calling out other celebrities or making controversial jokes that would leave most people cringing. Her brand of comedy has always been in your face, never shying away from pushing boundaries. Chelsea's history of roasting celebrities is legendary, and she's known for going after everyone from fellow comics to political figures. For her, there are no sacred cows, and she's made a name for herself by taking on even the most beloved stars in Hollywood. But with that kind of approach comes risk. Sometimes her jokes hit the mark, leaving her audience in stitches. Other times they can miss and leave people feeling uncomfortable or offended. It's this very unpredictability that makes Chelsea so captivating to watch, but also why her interactions with Blake Lively took a sudden turn. Chelsea is a master at making fun of people in a way that feels like it could go either way. It could be hilarious, or it could cross a line. And in this case, it seemed like her jabs at Blake were walking that very tightrope. Blake Lively's reaction to Chelsea's jabs is what really set this moment apart. Typically, Blake is known for her charm and ability to navigate interviews with ease, always maintaining a graceful smile and a lighthearted tone. But this time, something was different. While she initially tried to laugh along with Chelsea's jokes, it became clear that Blake wasn't as comfortable as she appeared. Her smile started to fade, and her body language shifted. She was no longer the relaxed, approachable star that fans are used to seeing. Instead of embracing the playful teasing, Blake seemed to shrink into herself, clearly unsure of how to respond. Was she embarrassed, annoyed, or simply caught off guard by Chelsea's intensity? While she didn't react with anger, her discomfort was evident. For fans who are used to seeing Blake as the confident, poised actress, this moment was jarring. It wasn't a full-on meltdown, but it was an instance where Blake Lively, for once, didn't seem to be in control of the situation. The question then becomes, was this an unusual slip from someone who typically keeps her composure, or was it a sign that Chelsea might have crossed a line? As you can imagine, once the clip hit the internet, social media went into overdrive. The reactions were split. Some fans were all in for Chelsea's roasts, applauding her fearless humor and thinking that Blake should have just rolled with the punches. Others, however, came to Blake's defense, expressing sympathy for how uncomfortable she seemed. Comments flooded in, with people arguing that Chelsea had taken the joke too far, especially considering Blake's usually more private nature. On Twitter, Instagram, and other platforms, fans debated whether Chelsea's humor was funny or inappropriate, with many pointing out that Blake's discomfort was clear and hard to ignore. This moment sparked a viral conversation about celebrity interactions, with people questioning whether it's ever okay to push someone beyond their comfort zone for the sake of humor. While Chelsea's fans rallied behind her, others were quick to call her out for potentially bullying someone who was simply trying to enjoy an interview. It became a battle of opinions, with each side defending their favorite celebrity while offering varying views on what's acceptable in the world of comedy. One of the biggest questions surrounding this moment was whether the entire exchange was staged for entertainment value or if it was a genuine clash between two very different personalities. On one hand, both Blake and Chelsea are seasoned celebrities who know how to handle the spotlight. Some fans speculated that this could have been a pre-planned stunt designed to stir up buzz and get people talking. After all, both stars are no strangers to the spotlight, and they know how to keep an audience hooked. However, others believed that the tension was real, that Blake's discomfort wasn't part of the act, and that Chelsea's humor may have crossed an uncomfortable line. Given how seriously Blake took the situation, it seemed like there might have been a genuine rift, even if it was just in that moment. Either way, it's hard to deny that the incident generated a lot of attention, keeping viewers on the edge of their seats, wondering whether it was scripted or spontaneous. This interaction wasn't the first time we've seen a celebrity clash on live TV, but was there any deeper history between Blake and Chelsea? While neither of them has been known to publicly feud, there have been whispers in the entertainment industry about friction between stars with very different public personas. Could this moment be the beginning of something more? Or was it just a fluke? A one-time occurrence where two people with contrasting senses of humor didn't quite click? Some fans speculated that the tension between them was a result of underlying differences in their personalities. While Blake has always kept her personal life relatively private, Chelsea has no problem putting her opinions out there for the world to see. Maybe this difference in approach to fame contributed to the awkwardness, but for now, it's impossible to know for sure whether this is just another one-off moment or if there's something more brewing beneath the surface. After the interview aired, both celebrities kept relatively quiet. Chelsea, ever the comedian, took to social media to joke about the incident, laughing it off as just another day in the life of a celebrity. She made light of the situation, sharing memes and posts that poked fun at the awkwardness of the moment. Blake, on the other hand, stayed silent, continuing with her usual posts about her family and career without mentioning the interaction directly. Fans were left to wonder, was Blake's silence a sign of her being upset? Or was it just a way to move past the awkwardness? While Chelsea made jokes and kept the conversation going, Blake seemed to prefer letting the moment fade into the background. This difference in how the two handled the fallout only added more fuel to the fire. Did Chelsea feel like it was no big deal, while Blake wanted to put it behind her? Or was there something more to the way they both reacted? So what's the takeaway from this unexpected clash between Blake Lively and Chelsea Handler? Was it a funny, harmless exchange that simply didn't land as well as expected? Or did Chelsea's humor push Blake's boundaries a bit too far? The truth is, we may never fully know the behind-the-scenes story, whether it was a planned comedic moment or an unscripted awkward encounter. But one thing is certain, this brief interaction has sparked a much larger conversation. For some, Chelsea Handler's roasting is just part of her charm. Her no-holds-barred approach to comedy has been both celebrated and criticized for years, and in many ways, it's what makes her such a compelling figure. She's made a career out of being fearless, calling out the absurdities in celebrity culture, and using her platform to challenge societal norms. For Chelsea's fans, this moment was just another example of her comedic genius, a funny bit that will go down in the annals of celebrity television history. On the flip side, Blake Lively's reaction was a reminder of the complexity of celebrity life. We often see these stars through the lens of their carefully curated public images, but moments like this show us the vulnerability that comes with living in the spotlight. Blake has always been the picture of grace, balancing her career with family life and staying relatively private when it comes to the personal side of things. Seeing her visibly uncomfortable on live TV may have caught fans off guard, especially since we rarely see her in such a position. And then there's the question of whether this whole interaction was staged. Some viewers argue that this kind of tension is exactly what makes for compelling television, creating a moment that leaves people talking. After all, both Blake and Chelsea are seasoned celebrities who understand the power of media. The fact that this interaction went viral, with fans and media outlets dissecting every detail, suggests that the tension might have been engineered to generate buzz. If it was, it worked. This incident is still a topic of conversation long after it aired. But then again, there's also the possibility that the clash was genuine. Two stars with very different public personas caught in an uncomfortable moment that couldn't be smoothed over with a laugh. If that's the case, it raises a larger question about the role of humor in celebrity culture. Where do we draw the line between comedy and disrespect? Is it ever okay to push someone beyond their comfort zone in the name of humor, or do we risk crossing into territory that's too personal or uncomfortable? The fallout from this interaction also speaks to the wider discourse around public figures and their right to privacy. Blake Lively is known for keeping her personal life out of the public eye as much as possible, so it's no surprise that her discomfort was so noticeable when her private world was poked fun at. In contrast, Chelsea Handler has built a career out of blurring those lines, turning personal jokes into public fodder. The clash between these two stars, then, might reflect a larger cultural divide about how celebrities navigate their public and private lives. What's more interesting is the way the public has reacted. Social media exploded with a mix of support for both sides. Some fans defended Blake, empathizing with her unease at being roasted on live TV. Others stood by Chelsea, applauding her for being bold and fearless in her humor. In many ways, the debate about this incident mirrors the ongoing conversation about celebrity culture itself, what's fair game and what's off limits. It also raises questions about how much control celebrities really have over their public image, especially when they're under constant scrutiny from the media and their audience. As we reflect on this moment, we're left with more questions than answers. Was this an isolated incident, or are there deeper tensions beneath the surface? Did Blake Lively truly feel disrespected, or was she just caught off guard? And what about Chelsea? Did she go too far, or was it all in the name of comedy? Whatever the case, one thing is clear. This interaction between Blake and Chelsea has made waves, sparking conversation about celebrity culture, humor, and the fine line between entertainment and discomfort. It's also a reminder that we, as viewers, are part of the spectacle. We consume these moments, dissect them, and form opinions about what's appropriate or funny. But behind the headlines and viral clips, there are real people with real emotions. Whether this was a scripted bit or a genuine, awkward encounter, it gives us a glimpse into the complexities of being in the public eye, where every joke, every comment, and every gesture is under intense scrutiny. And in the end, maybe that's the most revealing part of the whole story. Not just the tension between two celebrities, but the broader conversation about the pressures of fame and the boundaries of comedy. So while we may never know the full story behind the Blake Lively Chelsea Handler incident, the ripples from this moment will likely continue for a while. It's another chapter in the ever-evolving narrative of celebrity interactions, and it serves as a reminder of the unpredictable, often messy world of Hollywood. But one thing's for sure, this moment has left an impact, and it'll be interesting to see if anything develops from it down the line.